Yo, what's good, guys? NFL Week 3 has just about wrapped up, with the exception of the game tonight. Here are our power rankings headed into Week 4. Start with number 32 and work our way up, shall we? Number 32, New York Jets. 0-3 record, pretty much the worst producing team on offense in the NFL. Darnold looks like he might be benched sooner or later, although they have nobody else to back him up. Number 31, New York Giants, another 0-3 team, just not looking as sharp as they should under Joe Judge as their new coach. Philadelphia Eagles lost to, they have like one of the easiest schedules that I could think of, and they've lost every game except for that they just tied. So, Atlanta Falcons, Lord have mercy, can they hold on to a single 20-point lead? They'd be up there in the top 10. 28, Houston Texans, just, they've been falling apart ever since week 1 against the Chiefs. Defense just did not get better. They did nothing to get better. Offense, without D-Hop, you can see it's already taking a toll on them. 7, Denver Broncos. I thought this year they'd be a top contender for the playoffs, but obviously all these injuries like Drew Lock, Cortland Sutton, Von Miller, those are all people that are going to be gone, and they're key contributors. Jeff Driscoll has not done a bad job. It's just he hasn't done a great job. 26, Jacksonville Jaguars had a surprising upset win over the Colts in Week 1. Ever since, just not playing as well as they lost to the Dolphins and the Titans. 25, Miami Dolphins. Ryan Fitzpatrick has looked pretty good. You see, I don't think the Dolphins are actually having that great of a strength of schedule, aside from the Bills, which is one of their losses. But like, Jacksonville and Miami are pretty interchangeable, even though Miami beat Jacksonville. 24, Washington football team. Chase Young, Dwayne Haskins, Terry McLaurin. They're really not looking that bad. Gibson. Ron Rivera is getting as much winning culture as he can out of this team. 23, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, AJ Green, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd. They are lighting it up on the field. Their defense just needs to get a little bit better. 22, Detroit Lions. They'd be at number 30 if it weren't for an upset victory over the Arizona Cardinals, a top 10 team this week. 21, Minnesota Vikings. 0-3, just not... You see, everybody did not expect them to do too well this year, but they didn't expect him to do this bad. I mean, obviously losing the Titans by 1 point must really hurt, but like getting absolutely manhandled by the Colts last week was just inexcusable. 20, San Francisco 49ers, another one of those teams where it's really just hard to see how they're going to do this year as injuries have caught up to them. Number 19, LA Chargers. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor's gone. Justin Herbert came in back-to-back 300-yard games to start out his career. Very good from a young quarterback. 18, Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater has not done a bad job as he has almost 1,000 yards on the season. It's that defense that really needed some help this year. Offensive-minded coach Matt Rule is not going to be able to help with that too much, but this defense definitely needs some work. Number 17, Indianapolis Colts. Nice comeback wins for Phillip Rivers after that Week 1 loss to the Jags. Nice win over the Vikings, and then this week, nice win over the Jets. They're looking like a true contender this year. Number 16, Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham are finally clicking. New coach Kevin Stefanski is looking like he's going to get as much as he can out of this offense. Defensively, the team's not looking too great as they did let that Washington football team get 27 points on them this week. 15, New Orleans Saints. 1-2, yes, I understand they've had a tough schedule. Although the Raiders, as we found out, not a great defense, but they got held to 17 points against the Raiders. Number 12, New England Patriots. You see, the Patriots are one of those teams where they could be number 12 or I could put them at number 20. Very hard to tell how they're going to do this year because, number one, Cam Newton is not going to be as consistent as people think he is. I mean, 100 pass yards in like 2 of his games, and then he did decent against a terrible Seahawks defense. So, like, James White, obviously, and Sony Michel, 2 great running backs, okay? They are going to help this offense do something. Defense has looked a little bit not very good, as have all defenses this year, though. Except for the Steelers, who have been pretty consistent. Number 14, Chicago Bears. I'm really not riding this 3-0 start. Literally one of the easiest schedules that I think I've seen through 3 weeks. Number 13, Oakland Raiders. Last week I would have had them top 10. This week, obviously, with that loss to the Patriots, it's going to take them down a few. John Gruden has definitely gotten some wins out of this team, which is very good for him because Derek Carr is facing a make or break the year this year. Number 11, LA Rams. Now, here's the thing. The Rams obviously almost just had one of the most historic comebacks I've ever seen against the Bills, okay? Jared Goff looking like he's returned to his MVP form. The running game is on their top notch even without Todd Gurley. The defense, especially the cornerbacks and the linebackers, looking very iffy, which is what gave him that one loss. Obviously, losing people like Nickel Roby-Coleman and Corey Littleton, those are big losses. And Dexter Fowler. Number 10, Tennessee Titans. 3-0 start, but it's all been close games. I would have them higher. They've only won each game by like 3 points or less. Number 9, Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they may be 1-2. That offense is riding high right now under Dak Prescott, who's got like 1,200 yards already this year. He's looking for a historic season. Number 8, Arizona Cardinals. Pretty much stayed right where they did last week. They still looked like a good team. That defense just was not able to hold the Lions to enough. Matthew Stafford, not a bad quarterback, so they don't have too much to complain about. 7, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, Tom Brady, all these weapons that they have, they were able to sniff out a win against the Broncos. They were able to sniff out a win against the Panthers, 2 teams on the lower end of the spectrum. Whereas you had a loss to the Saints, who are also now on the lower end of the spectrum, and that was without Michael Thomas. So it's a lot of question marks for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Number 6, Pittsburgh Steelers. Top-tier defense, Big Ben back to his original form, and he's looking very good. Number 5, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers just looking like a perfect passer again. Devontae Adams obviously was out. Marquez Valdez-Scantling looking very good as a number 2 receiver right now. Number 4, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, obviously, this was made before the Monday night showdown between the Chiefs and the Ravens. I don't know who has won this game, even though this will be uploaded the night after. So I'm going to assume the Baltimore Ravens win this game, and I'm putting the Chiefs at number 4. Number 3, Buffalo Bills. I really don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, people. Josh Allen. MVP caliber performances 3 times. This time against Jalen Ramsey. I mean, come on. The dude is looking like an MVP frontrunner behind, like, Russell Wilson. That's it. Those 2 are the best right now. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, John Brown, Cole Beasley. Absolutely insane. The defense does need to tighten up a little bit as they have not looked nearly as good as they did last year. Number 2, Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, as I said, I don't know who won those other 2 games. But Lamar Jackson, obviously, I've just had him at number 2 the whole time, so with that win. And number 1, I give the Seattle Seahawks the number 1. Oh my goodness. What a performance from Russell Wilson these first 3 games. That's all I have to say. Goodbye. Subscribe.